Good morning. Um, I noticed when I turned it on that the light above is making this really cool um, image on my glass here. So sorry if we'll put this over there. Maybe you can't see it very much. But I saw Connie Stewart did this card she called a patchwork border card. And I made this using the Softly Sophisticated. And I thought that we would make one of those this morning because it's pretty easy. And you can stamp it, or you could even use designer paper if you didn't want to stamp the border. So I'm using a piece of boho blue. I'm going to use some in colors. And I just took my card and folded it in half. Okay, so I had my 8.5 by 5.5. It's folded in half now. And then took a piece of 2 by 11. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut off 3 1/4 off of this. That's going to be this piece here in the middle, because that's 2 by 3 1/4. Cut that. Let me cut that off the other side. I like that one better. 3 1/4. Okay, so I'll set that aside to be the middle of the front of the card. And then the rest of the card, we're going to just stamp and try to fill it up as much as we can. So I thought I would use the Seaside Bay. You know, that's one of my favorites. And I want to stamp the shells and things such that I don't really have directions. So I think I'm going to stay away from the birds this time. I'm going to use the crab. You usually start with your largest image first. And I'm going to stamp the crab using the Moody Mauve. Very kind of a quick and easy card here. Ooh, that's a very juicy pad. Okay, so I've got that. All right, that's stamping very dark. Okay. Some of these pads, I don't use that often, and I wonder if they sit, do they become a little more concentrated or something? I'm not sure. All right, so then I'm going to I'll take this shell, and I'm going to fill that in with maybe the pebbled path. These in colors are really very pretty. And again, they're not my usual go-to colors, but I like them. These are giving me some very nice, solid images. Remember, I'm on my glass, so let me do one more. So when I get ink on it, I can just wipe it with my little kind of mini chamois. Oops. Okay. Then I will take the other shell, this little kind of a nautilus looking shell. I'm going to do that in the boho blue. Just trying to fill up the white spaces, because once I cut it down to be the borders, you don't want a lot of white in there. There we go. These colors are really pretty together. It's nice too if you can have a stamp that will kind of fill in the background, and I'll show you what I mean. This one's got the sand, and I'm just going to wipe that off so it doesn't get anywhere I don't want it. I'm going to take a piece of scrap paper because I'm going to stamp off on this. So this has got this little dots that are meant to be like sand. want to, I'm going to use the pebbled, no, you know what? I'm going to use the boho blue. I think I'm going to use the blue. I'm just going to lightly tap. Then I'm going to stamp it off on here. And then I'll do it here. So see, that will make it very light. I think it was coming out a little dark for me otherwise. So if your ink pad is not as juicy as this one is, you may not have to stamp off. You may just be able to stamp straight there. But always remember, you can get it lighter just by stamping off once. It's always good for any project you're working on. See, and once I get it cut apart, having this white space kind of filled in, I think will look a lot better. Again, if you like the white space, then leave it. It's always up to you. Oh, there's a little bit there. Okay, I think that's good. All right. Okay, so now we're going to cut this piece that's going to be our borders. And I'm going to cut it. The piece on the inside, like I said, was 2 by 3 1/4. And these other pieces, so this was 2 wide. So I'm going to cut it to 1 wide. Just cut it right down the middle. Okay, and then I'm going to cut 2 of them at 4 1/4. 4 1/4. And whoops, that was the, and 2 of them at 3. So I'm only left with just these 2 little tiny pieces like that. Same one to this. 4 1/4 and 3. And I don't need to keep them in any special order or anything. Get that out of the way. Okay, so then you're going to put them on here like this. The 4 1/4 is going to go to the upper left and the bottom right. And then your 3-inch pieces are going to go up and down. Now, this card can either go this way, landscape, or it can go this way. And I think I'm going to make mine this way this time. Why was I going to do that? Oh, that was going to be the words I was going to use. Maybe I'll leave it this way, because I was going to use "you're in my thoughts" again. So I will leave this one this way, but just be aware you could go either way on that. All right, so then I place my pieces. I'm using the liquid because you might want to move this around a little bit, remember? Okay, so I'm going to put that up there and try to get it as even as I can. And then this one down here. Now, see this piece that I stamped? If instead you wanted to use designer paper, just cut pieces that are 1 by 4 1/2, 2 of those, and 1 by 3, 2 of those. And you can get the same effect and not have had to stamp it yourself. But I liked the stamping part, and I do use the designer paper a lot. You all see that, and that always cuts down on the time if you use a piece of that. But I really wanted to stamp this one. Okay, so notice I'm trying to line up along the edge here and along the edge up here. Okay, and I'll do the same thing on this side. And I'm not paying attention to which way this goes because that's how I stamped it. But if you need to, there we go. I think this side's a little bit more space than the others, but that's okay. All right, so that's that easy. And then you're going to stamp something that's going to go right here in the middle. So I liked that you're in my thoughts, again, because I could use it for literally anything, you know, birthday, sympathy, anything. And I think I will stamp that in the pebbled path. I want that to be nice and dark. There we go. And then I'll stamp a couple of the shells, I think. I always love the beachy kind of sets, you know. Right, so this time I'm going to stamp this one in the mauve, and I think I'm going to stamp off to see if I can get it lighter because it came out very dark with the crab. All right, so if I stamp it off, and then the second time, I don't know if that's going to give me a good enough image. I might just need to keep it dark. Yeah, I think I'm not getting a good second image this time, so 1, 2, 3 of those. And this one does have the dies that will go with it. So if I wanted to cut out a crab and put on here, or some of the shells or something, I could certainly do that. So funny, I was so happy when they came out with the photopolymer because they're so easy to place, but I still like the feel and the look of the rubber stamps, I think, better. So they both have their pluses and minuses. Well, not really minuses. They just have some extra pluses, I suppose. All right, and then I was going to pop that up. I think Connie did too on her card. Put some dimensionals on there. All right. Here we go. All right. So this is pretty busy, but you've got that middle. And I think if I cut out a crab and put on top here or something, that would be nice. But this patchwork border, I think, came out really, really cute. And I hope you might try it. And I hope you have a great day. Bye.